I started snapping pics, them strolling into the hotel, one after another. This wasn't just about convincing myself anymore, I needed cold, hard evidence she couldn't dodge. Taking a shaky breath, I climbed out of my car and shadowed them inside, keeping my distance. The lobby was all moody lighting, plush leather seats, and a slick reception desk stretched across the back. I faked like I was glued to my phone, sneaking looks as Julian smooth-talked the clerk. Seconds later, they scored a keycard, room 317. My jaw locked tight as they sauntered to the elevators, totally clueless I was there. I hung back till the doors slid shut, then moseyed up to the desk myself. "Hey," I said, playing it loose. My buddy just checked in, but my phone's toast and I blanked on the room number. "Julian, tall dude, dark suit. You mind jogging my memory?" The clerk didn't even glance up. "Room 317. I tipped my head with a tight smile. "Appreciate it." Stepping off, my heart was pounding like a jackhammer. I had M pinned. Now I just had to figure out my next play. For the next half hour, I camped out in the hotel lounge, thumbing my phone like I had nothing better to do while my brain ran wild. I had the goods, photos, the room number, that damn receipt from last time. No way she could talk her way out of this pile. But what now? Bust in and catch M tangled up? Wait till she dragged herself home and hit her with it? Tell her I knew and watch her squirm for a lie? Every road looked like hell. Whatever I picked, my marriage was toast. Still, something in me wouldn't let go, kept me stuck, second-guessing. Deep down, I kept clinging to this dumb hope that it was all a mix-up. Maybe she'd stroll out of that room and swear it wasn't what I thought, or I'd wake up tomorrow and realize I'd dreamed up the whole damn mess. But I'm not that naive. It was time to stop kidding myself and stare the truth dead in the face. At 9:45 that night, the elevator pinged, and out strutted Julian, solo. He tugged his suit straight, slicked a hand through his hair, and marched out of the hotel like he didn't have a care in the world. A couple minutes later, Diana popped out. Her dress was rumpled, her hair a little wilder than before. She scoped the lobby quick, like she was making sure no one clocked her, then bolted outside. I watched her hop in her car, sit there a beat, and peel off. I tailed her home, staying quiet. When she walked in, she played it off smooth, smiled at me, pecked my cheek, and chattered about nothing like she hadn't just spent hours with some other guy. It hit me how easy lying came to her now, like she'd been juggling two lives so long it was muscle memory. Standing there in the kitchen, staring at her, I didn't feel sad or crushed, just this low, burning anger bubbling up. She had no clue I was onto her. But that was about to change. I just needed to pick my moment. That night, I crashed on the couch, eyes locked on the ceiling while Diana flitted around the house like everything was golden. She didn't suspect a thing, didn't know I'd shadowed her, watched her waltz into that hotel with Julian, seen it all go down with my own eyes. She was so cocky, so damn sure I was clueless, she didn't even try to hide that little smirk tugging at her mouth as she brushed by me. I wanted to lose it, yell her name, whip out my phone, and shove those pics in her face till she choked on an excuse. But I swallowed it down, sitting there quiet, my fists balled so tight my nails bit into my skin. I had to outsmart her. When I finally dropped the hammer, I needed it airtight, no wiggle room left. Next morning, she leaned in for her usual goodbye kiss before heading to work. "Catch you tonight," she chirped, grinning like the world was perfect. I forced a nod back. "Yeah, later." The second she was out of the door, I snatched my phone. I had pics, that hotel receipt, the texts, damn near everything. But I wanted one last nail for the coffin, something so bulletproof she couldn't even try to squirm free. So I dialed up a lifeline. "Hey, man, I need a solid," I said the second Ryan picked up. We'd been buds since college, not tight these days, but he was in private security, a pro at tailing people, digging dirt, running cams. He'd pulled guys through messy splits before, so he was my ace. "What's going down?" he asked. "I need somebody tracked. And I need it on video." A long pause hung there, then a low whistle. "Holy hell, dude. Who are we talking?" I let out a slow breath. "Diana." Another beat of silence. "Damn." He didn't need the rundown, he got it. "Okay," he said, "shoot me her routine, spots she hits, anything you've got. I'll handle it." I fired off the works, her work hours, her late nights, that damn hotel. Time to shut this chapter for good. Friday rolled around, and Diana stepped out of the house looking too good, hair perfect, dress snug in all the right places, practically radiating. Not for me, though, for him. I stayed back, faking like I was swamped with work, but the minute she was gone, I grabbed my phone. Ryan texted fast, "She's rolling. Updates soon." I paced the house like a caged animal, checking my phone every other second, my heart slamming so hard I could feel it in my neck. 2 hours later, it buzzed. Ryan sent a video. I dropped onto the couch, sucked in a breath, and hit play. There it was, shaky at first but clear as day, Diana perched in a dim hotel lounge, sipping wine, looking all cozy and thrilled. Then Julian swaggered in. They locked eyes like they'd been doing this forever, his hand grazing her arm, her leaning in too close, that smile she gave him like he was her whole damn universe. My gut flipped. They chatted up a storm, laughing, flirting, all easy and natural. Then he slid his hand onto her thigh. She didn't flinch when his hand landed there, she leaned right into it. I nearly shut the damn video off. Didn't want to see another second of that garbage. But I gritted my teeth and kept watching, I had to see this through to the bitter end. A couple minutes later, Julian got up, grabbed her hand, and tugged her toward the elevators. She trailed after him like it was nothing, no second thoughts. The clip cut out as the doors slid shut. I dropped my phone on the table, staring at the blank screen, floored. That was it, everything I needed, right there in my hands. When Diana strolled through the door that night, she had no clue what was brewing. She flashed me that easy smile. "Hey, babe, how'd your day go?" I stared at her, really took her in. This woman who'd kissed me goodbye that morning, fully aware she'd be tangled up with some other guy by nightfall. The one who'd fed me lie after lie without blinking. The one who'd torched everything we'd spent years building. I let out a slow breath. Good day, actually. Real good. She quirked a brow, dumping her purse on the counter. Oh yeah? What went down? My phone was right there in my grip, Ryan's video just a tap away. I could hit play and blow this whole thing wide open. But I held off, just smiled instead. For the first time in weeks, I wasn't spinning in circles, drowning in doubts or choking on what-ifs. I knew. And pretty soon, she'd know I knew. She kicked off her heels and stretched out, playing it cool like she'd just punched the clock at some grueling shift. She didn't suspect a damn thing, didn't realize I'd tracked her every move, watched her strut into that hotel with Julian, caught the whole betrayal on tape. And there she was, calm as hell. That's what stung the deepest, how she could breeze into our house, our life, and act like the ground hadn't shifted under us. But it had. I wasn't the same sucker I'd been yesterday. I was done letting this slide. Diana drifted into the kitchen, humming some tune while she poured herself a glass of wine. She spun around, took a sip, and squinted at me. You good? You look. I dunno, wound up or something. I scanned her face, always acting, always putting on that damn mask. For a hot second, I almost let it rip, wound up. Yeah, maybe 'cause I saw you cozying up with some jackass in a hotel on video. But I swallowed it. I wanted to see how deep she'd dig this hole. I kicked back on the couch and shrugged. Rough day, that's all. She grinned. Tell me about it. I nearly barked a laugh. She didn't have a clue what rough meant, spending her day sipping wine with her side piece, then waltzing back to me like it was nothing. She didn't know her little house of cards was about to crash hard. I just had to pick the perfect way to flip the table. Sleep didn't come easy that night. I kept seeing that video on loop in my head. Julian's hand sliding onto her thigh, her trailing him like a puppy, that smile she used to flash just for me now aimed at him. There wasn't a shred of love left in it. The more I chewed it over, the clearer it got. This wasn't only about her screwing around. It was about who she'd turned into. This wasn't some slip-up or fluke. This was Diana, plain and simple, showing her true colors. And I was gonna smash that pretty little lie she'd been living. So I locked in my endgame, a plan so tight she couldn't spin her way out, couldn't dodge the truth. 2 days later, I hit her with it. Hey, let's go out for dinner, I said. She lit up, surprised. Seriously? Just the two of us? Yeah, I nodded. Been a while, and we need to hash some stuff out. Her smile wobbled for a split second, but she patched it up fast. That'd be great. Great, huh? She thought this was gonna be some sweet little date night. She had no idea what was coming. I booked a spot at one of her go-to restaurants, fancy, public, the kind of place she'd strut into feeling untouchable. I couldn't wait to watch that smug look crack. That night, she went all out getting ready, dressed to the nines, more effort than usual. She'd poured herself into this tight red dress, heels clicking, hair fixed up just right, drop-dead gorgeous. But all I could picture was her dolling up like that for him. We settled into our seats at the restaurant, and she reached over, laying her hand on mine with this flirty little grin. So, what's the big occasion? She asked. I took her in, those sparkling eyes, that smooth smile, the way she always steered every damn talk we ever had. Not tonight, though. I slid my hand free and dug into my jacket pocket, then set my phone on the table, unlocked, Ryan's video frozen right where Julian's dragging her to the elevator. The second her eyes hit that screen, her smile vanished. She went stiff as a board. I leaned in, propping my elbows up. Go on, hit play. She didn't budge, didn't even twitch. Her breaths came quick and shallow, her knuckles widening as she gripped the table's edge. What's this? She stuttered after a beat. You tell me, I said, cocking my head. I wasn't there when you trailed Julian up to his hotel room, but this clip paints a pretty clear picture, huh? She swallowed hard, throat bobbing. It's not what you think. I let out a sharp laugh, couldn't help it. That's your best swing. That's what you're rolling with. Her mouth popped open, but nothing came out. She was cornered, and she knew it. I eased back in my chair, watching her brain scramble for a lifeline. For once, Diana had no slick exit, no story to spin, no way to flip this back on me. She was caught cold. I wanted her to own it. Come on, Diana, I said, voice steady as steel. Spill it. How long you been sneaking around with him? How many nights you fed me lies then climbed into bed like it was all good? Her lip shook. I didn't mean, nah, I cut in, sharp. None of that. How long? She dropped her gaze, shoulders quaking. Then, in this cracked little whisper, she finally coughed it up. 6 months. My jaw clamped tight, every muscle locking up. 6 months. Half a freaking year. I felt like I'd taken a boot to the stomach. I'd suspected it, sure, but hearing it hit different, made it solid, real, raw. I blew out a hard breath, wrestling the chaos inside. Why? Tears welled up in her eyes. I don't know. Don't, I barked. Don't you sit there acting like you're clueless. She chewed her lip, glancing around like she could bolt. I felt like something was gone. I barked another bitter laugh. And instead of hashing it out with me, you patched that hole with him? Tears streaked her face now. I didn't mean to. Bull, Diana. Every time you strutted into that hotel, you damn well meant to. She let out this strangled sob, burying her face in her hands. I just sat there, staring, numb as hell. Then I stood, scraping my chair back. She snapped her head up, panic flashing. Wait, please. I threw up a hand. Save it. I fished a slim envelope from my jacket and tossed it on the table. Her shaky fingers snatched it up, pulling out the papers. Her breath caught hard. Divorce papers? I gave a single nod. Her face collapsed, lips trembling. No, please, we can talk this out. No, I said, voice like ice. You had 6 months to talk. You picked your path. Now I'm picking mine. She shook her head like she could shake it all away, but I didn't stick around for the show. I turned and walked out of that restaurant, feeling lighter than I had in forever, free, finally. Stepping into the night, the cool air hit my face, my heart still thudding, hands jittering just a touch. I let out a long breath, one I'd been choking on for months. All that weight, the lies, the backstabbing, the grind of pretending I didn't see the fractures, it was gone, lifted clean off me. Behind me, I heard Diana stumble up from her seat, hollering my name, but I didn't glance back, not once. I didn't give a damn anymore. For 6 months, I'd kept my mouth shut, handed her the benefit of the doubt, and buried my head in the sand. Now, she could choke on the reality she'd fought so hard to stash away. I stepped onto the sidewalk, yanked out my phone, and punched in Ryan's number. He picked up quick, second ring. It's over, I said, voice solid as a rock. Ryan let out a long breath. She fessed up. 6 months. Christ. Yeah. I flicked my eyes back through the restaurant glass. Diana slumped at the table, head in her hands, divorce papers scattered in front of her like a busted puzzle. Think it blindsided her. Ryan snorted, dry as hell. They're always shocked. What's your next move? I'd been wrestling that question since I spotted that first text from Julian. What now? After the showdown, after the lid's off, do I crash at home, pretending I can sleep in the bed she poisoned with her lies? Stick around in the house where she'd stroll in reeking of him, grinning like I was clueless? Hell no. This wasn't just her story ending, it was me hitting the reset button. I took a slow breath. I'm out of there. Tonight. Ryan paused. You need a hand? I shook my head, even though he couldn't see it. Nope. Gotta do this solo. Fair enough, he said. But holler if you need me. Will do. I hung up, stuffed the phone in my pocket, and started walking. When I got home, the place didn't feel the same, or maybe I'd changed. Those walls used to hold my life, now they were a damn crime scene. The couch where she'd snuggle up and swear she loved me. Just a prop in her little charade I'd been too blind to clock. I couldn't stay, not one more minute. I grabbed a duffel and crammed in the basics, clothes, laptop, a couple keepsakes. That's it. Didn't care about haggling over couches or pots and pans. Diana could have the house, the car, the whole damn lot. I wanted out. As I zipped the bag shut, the front door creaked open. Diana stumbled in, mascara streaking her face, eyes wild. You left me there. I didn't look up. Yep. You walked out and, she spotted the bag and stopped cold. What are you doing? I slung it over my shoulder. Leaving. Her breath snagged. Wait, no, we gotta talk. I finally faced her. We talked. At dinner. That was it. Tears brimmed in her eyes, but I felt zilch, no sympathy, no second thoughts, nothing. You don't have to do this, she whispered. I let out a harsh laugh, she flinched at it. You cheated, Diana, I said, shaking my head. For 6 months. What did you think? I just shrugged it off. She opened her mouth, but I threw up a hand. No more sob stories. No more tears. No more bull. I brushed past her toward the door. You picked your road. Now I'm picking mine. She grabbed my arm. Where are you even going? I yanked free. Anywhere that ain't here. Then I walked out. I drove for hours, no destination, just letting the road pull me along. For the first time in forever, I didn't feel caged. No more guessing, no more spinning my wheels, no more playing the chump in my own marriage. Eventually, I rolled into a motel on the edge of town, tossed my bag on the bed, and caught my reflection in the mirror. I looked, lighter, like a guy who'd finally hacked off the chains dragging him down. I let out a breath and checked my phone, tons of missed calls, a flood of texts, all Diana, pleading for me to come back, swearing she was sorry, that we could patch it up, that she loved me. I trashed every last one. That night, I slept like a rock, first time in weeks. Next morning, I sat down with my lawyer. The divorce was gonna be a breeze. I didn't want a dime from her, no house, no savings, no tug-of-war. Just a clean break. I made it damn clear that if she tried to stall, all her dirty laundry, pics, videos, the works, would land in everyone's inbox. She signed within a week. Ryan hooked me up with a little apartment, nothing plush, but it was mine. Bit by bit, I started piecing myself back together. A month later, Diana showed up at my new spot, hovering in the doorway, looking drained and empty. I need to know, she said, voice barely there. Why'd you bail so quick? Why didn't you even fight for us? I gave her a long, hard look, felt nothing, no rage, no attachment, just calm. 'Cause I deserved better, I said, plain and simple. Then I shut the door and never looked back.